The sun has already risen. He is risen. We're expanding on a prior. That's the one business skill that you need to get to 100K. 0 to 2. The most gravitational pulling number to pull you away from 100K back to 0 is the number 0. So, what they don't teach at Y Combinator is, can you go 0 to 2 before you apply in a Y Combinator? Can you get better from one open 12 days of OpenAI to the next year's 12 days of OpenAI? I can see monetary improvement because it's a orgasm of evidence, because it's posted on your map. It's posted on your X transparent Twitter feed, which is, this is where I used to be, this is where I'm going, the sun has risen, he is already risen. Bullet point number 3, good job staying focused, which is remixing here on YouTube. There's a remix button. It's right underneath my chin. We want to hit remix, and then we want to choose either collab or green screen. And when we go green screen or collaborative, now we pick 15 seconds of video. Because the one business trick that we're doing is expanding on a prior. Most people watch less than the whole video and they get in late and then they leave early. Does that help you? It does not help you. That turns you into a normal person commercializing, an NPC. That's a funny joke. I want to write that down. That was an interesting thing you said. Can you repeat it? Normalized person commercializing. Can you repeat what you just said? Oh, yeah, it's normal person commercializing. What are you doing there? You're charming the person by saying, I'm listening to you so well during the sun has risen, he has risen, enough to pull out my pen and put it down to paper. Does this one skill get you 100K? Yeah, because when you're expanding on a prior and you're able to put pen to paper, now people can see that you've been able to wire your dopamine addicted brain to expand on a prior, because now you're bringing in to dopamine the three-way of chemical, which is epinephrine. The ability to focus, the ability to dopamine, future dopamine, which is expanding on a prior where we win from getting 100K using this one business trick. Remix right underneath my chin on the YouTube button. This is what they don't teach you at Y Combinator, which is remixing Y Combinator videos. What's a partner do when they're evaluating you for entry? Because I've already underwritten that this is an expansion on prior for how to get a VC that you don't know to mentor you. They go right to Y Combinator news to read and extrapolate what you've read. So when they're evaluating your Y Combinator application, what they're doing is underwriting what you have read and amplified. Does this get you to 100K in venture capital funding? Sort of, but it's better than that, because this is 100K in revenue, because you're gamifying what YC founders and YC VCs are pushing you to do, which is read something, get better, do something, by evaluating your Y Combinator account status. This is your ability to read and get better via the algorithm on YouTube, which merged and acquired Little YC's news algorithm. This is the granddaddy algorithm, which is actually easier to program, which is why the remix button going from 0 videos produced to 2 videos using the remix button. You hit remix and then you pick green screen or collab. And then now you state your treasure map intention, which is I will be moving from my dollar amount to a higher dollar amount for Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. For Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, the sun has already risen and we're coming in hot, both facially and lighting wise, because we are expanding on a prior number 3. We're backwards counting from 8. Memorization. Tai, Noah, Ma, Rai, Law. You memorize those 5 words and then you tie it, you associate those words with 5 things you need to memorize. For example, we need to go to SoulCycle to ride bikes with Julia. So you tie your bike in your mind, you put a tie on a SoulCycle bike. Julia is on Noah's Ark, and then the time is 11:45. And so you imagine your mom eating lunch early at 11:45. Being able to memorize things tricks other people into thinking that you can always expand on a prior. Because what is the one business trick to get to 100K? That is expand on a prior. And if you can remember prior shiitake because you've got a great memory, because what is memory and what is money? Memory makes money. Am I expanding on a prior on a thing that I've previously read but have not said? Yes. Harry Lorraine, memory makes money. To repeat, Tai, Noah, Ma, Rai, Law. You memorize those 5 words, and that's how Moonwalking with Einstein is a book that helps you with memory. This is Harry Lorraine's baby steps. So let's say initially you can't moonwalk with Einstein. Later you can at least, I almost said Michael Jackson with Larry Chang, but let's realize that that's what it is. Bullet point number next, which is expand on a prior. What one business skill do you need in order to make 100K? PEN, P-E-N. It doesn't stand for anything, although it might. What we're doing with it is we're expanding on a prior by putting pen to paper. It's paper notes. It's the tool that is the Jedi lightsaber. It's like that cool one with like 2 holes, and then Darth Maul is spinning it around where he doesn't realize that Larry Chang was just chopped right in the middle of his 2-sided lightsaber. What's a dual lightsaber where you're fighting with 2? This is pen, this is paper. And then you connect the 2 and it forms this energy that is rarely seen. It's so powerful. This is what it is. It's an orgasm of evidence that I make 100K because I put pen to paper, and now I have special paper that I literally pull out of my ass. Because are these jokes? If you're wanting to be rich, it's both funny and useful. Because pulling it out of your butt is a pocket notebook. Pulling it out of your butt is Pulling it out of your butt works like this. You reach back into your back pocket and you pull out a monster notebook. Your third brain, your butt. Second brain, penis or vagina. First brain, your brain. Fourth brain, your stomach. Your stomach is gut instinct wise helping you go from 0 to 100K paper notes. When you have special paper in your butt, that is an example of prior things that you have written down. And so when you have written down things before, you've realized that this video is the sun is risen, he is risen, and Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club is able to expand on a prior. Because this is an example of pages and pages. And what happens is this little piece of paper blows up to be a bigger piece of paper. This is an example on a treasure map where a little piece of paper is surrounded. See that? That's the little piece of paper. You photocopy it, and now it's a bigger piece of paper. When you expand on a prior by going to a meeting, you show people it came from a little piece of paper, now it's going to a bigger piece of paper. Am I showing you what happened when Stanford Arthur C. Rock Center for Corp Governance paste copied my notes from October 1 through October 4, CPU CC 24 to April 24 to 26? Yes. And do you see how this little piece of paper now is on a bigger piece of paper? This is what they don't teach you at YC, is between YC rejections, can you get better? Between meetings, what did you do? Between Larry Chang videos, did you make 600K? That's what they don't teach you at YC, and you're mother scratching welcome. You're welcome.